Hey friends, I am back again and thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're going to watch till the end. And if this is your first time seeing my face, my name is Peace and I live in Japan. Today I want to talk about the pros and cons of living in the rural area and urban areas in Japan. So people usually ask me, oh, where do I choose? As regards working as an ALT, because when you apply for the job, they would ask you where you would like to work. So some people reach out to me to get ideas on, where to choose. And I usually tell them I haven't lived everywhere, so I wouldn't know the best prefecture for anyone. But I am here to just give ideas on how you can choose. So I just want to talk about the pros and cons of living in the urban areas and in the rural areas. So with this video, it will help you, it will guide you when making your choices. Before we get into the video, please subscribe to my channel. If this is your first time, subscribe to my channel and thank you in advance. So let's get right into the video. I'm going to start with the urban areas. Urban areas in Japan are prefectures like Tokyo, Osaka, and others where the city life is bubbly or where the life is bubbly and things are actually different. When you live in the city, the experience you have living in the city is different from what you would experience when you live in the rural area or countryside. And the first pro of living in an urban area is employment opportunities because there are numerous factories, companies, there are so many job opportunities in the urban areas. So if you're looking for any kind of job at all, you can have two jobs, you can have three jobs if you have time. That is one pro. The second pro is convenience. Urban areas are known for convenience, like easy access to restaurants, to fun places, entertainment centers. So that is one of the pros of living in the urban area. Another point is public transportation. There are so many buses and trains in the urban areas because of the population, I guess. So there is always a train coming every 10 minutes or 5 minutes. You always catch a train. So that makes it kind of easy to commute to work or to anywhere else because there are always buses and trains around compared to the rural areas. So another point is social networking. This is my point, and that is because in the urban areas you find more foreigners. In cities like Tokyo, you find more foreigners from different parts of the world. If you are the person that likes to, socialize or likes to make friends, you can make friends easily with foreigners. Language may not be a barrier because you would find people you can communicate with. You can find people from your country, people from other countries, and it will be just, you wouldn't be bored in a way. Also, nightlife, bubbly nightlife in the urban areas, you find more clubs, bars, and in fact, people don't really sleep. Like the first time I spent a night in Osaka, I was wondering, is this Japan? Is this Japan? Because it was very noisy throughout the night, and that was because there was a bar close to where I stayed. So yeah, the nightlife is fun. So if you love nightlife, then you may want to choose the urban area. Next is cultural diversity. The urban area is a melting pot of different cultures, different, languages, different nationalities, and this gives opportunity for cultural exchange. You meet people from different countries, you want to learn about their culture, they also want to learn about your culture, so it can be fun. Also, you find more foreigners in the urban areas. So if you don't speak Japanese, you would actually find it easy to live in the urban area because you find most people that understand English in the urban areas and you can just live a normal life. So now I want to talk about the cons of living in the urban areas. And the first is high cost of living. If you live in the urban area, you're going to pay bills. The cost of living is actually very high and you may not be able to save if you have just one job. because you would end up paying bills with all your salary. Anyways, it's easy for people to get part-time jobs, 2 3 jobs. So you can do 2 3 jobs and then pay your bills and save some money, like some money. But you can't save and pay your bills from just one job. That is, if you're an ALT, you know, it'll be difficult because the cost of living is high. So the second is crowded environment. Urban areas are usually overcrowded, especially cities like Tokyo. Tokyo is one of the overpopulated cities in the world. It's very overpopulated. And so you get things like traffic congestions, public transport congestions, because you need to see you need to during rush hour in Tokyo, it's crazy. People are stuffed in the trains, like, you know I thought it was only in Lagos it happens. So, and this is because of the population. It is a crowded city. Another thing is hectic lifestyle. Because of the fast-paced lifestyle in the city, people doing 2 3 jobs, the long working hours, the lifestyle there is just hectic. And if you're not really intentional about your health, you could break down. You know what? If you live in Lagos, or if you've lived in Lagos, it will be easy for you to live in Tokyo anyways, because the lifestyle there is it's similar. It's similar to that of Lagos. The hectic lifestyle is one of the cons of living in the urban cities. So now I'm going to talk about the rural areas, like the pros of living in the rural areas. Number one is low cost of living. In the rural area, the cost for rent and other bills are very low. Well, should I say very low? Anyways, they are lower compared to that of the urban areas. So you don't have to pay so much for rent. You don't have to pay so much for groceries, and stuff like that. It is quite affordable. That is one of the pros of living in the rural area in Japan. The second is peaceful and serene environment. Like, it's always calm and peaceful in the rural areas because it's not so overcrowded as the urban areas. So you get this peace and quiet when you live in the rural area. Again, you find more of old people living here. So their life is just peaceful and they don't want disturbance. Also, because of the less population in the rural areas, no traffic congestions, there is no noise pollution, nothing. Like, the life is just easy, just easy, peaceful and easy life, stuff like that. Another pro of living in the rural area is an opportunity to learn Japanese, because you would find few foreigners in the rural areas, and most people they speak only Japanese. So you would be urged to speak Japanese. So you would have the opportunity to interact with locals and that way learn Japanese. So now I want to talk about the cons of living in the rural area. Number one is limited job opportunities. There are not so many jobs in the rural areas compared to the urban areas. So you may find it difficult getting a second job, and especially if you don't speak Japanese, it's maybe difficult for you to find a second job if you live in the rural areas. Next is limited access to fun places. So if you live in the rural areas, you would find very few entertainment centers, restaurants, big shopping malls, and fun places. And yeah, it could just make your life boring, especially if you're someone that loves to go out and you like the bubbly life. You may not really find that in the rural area. So if you want to visit places like that, you may have to go to the city where you can find fun places. But in the rural areas, they are very limited. Another thing is limited access to public transportation. Now, this is not everywhere. I know this is surprising because we all know that Japan has extensive public transportation system, and not just extensive but efficient as well. So if you live in some parts in the rural areas, you may find it difficult to commute if you don't drive or ride a bicycle. And this is because there is limited access to the public transportation, like buses especially, because there are some parts where buses comes like 3 times a day. They pick up like 3 times a day, and they drop off like 4 or 5 times a day. So if you live in those places, it will be difficult for you to commute if you don't drive or ride a bicycle. And that could be, inconvenient for those that don't drive. So that's one of the cons of living in the rural area. So next is not so many foreigners. So there are usually, not so many foreigners living in the rural areas. Most of them, I mean, you find most of them in the urban areas. So if you live in the rural areas, you would have to interact with locals, and if you don't speak Japanese, it's maybe difficult. Regardless of where you chose to live or where you have been placed, Japan is a beautiful place. So just enjoy your stay. Do not let this video discourage you, especially for the new ALTs. Do not let this video discourage you. Don't feel, oh, I have been placed here, my life is gonna be boring. No, remember, you can make the best of it regardless of where you are. You can live your life regardless of where you have been placed. So I hope you found this video helpful. Remember to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Like this video. If you have questions, send me a message on Instagram. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.